Hi everybody, it's Mark, and I am here to present the first of a series of videos about being an Atheopagan cleric. I'm going to touch on weddings and funerals and peer counseling and other things that Atheopagan clerics can do, but this video is just basically to explain what is an Atheopagan cleric, what isn't it, and how does that work in the context of our community. So let's dive right in. What is an Atheopagan cleric? I am actually wearing the outfit that I wear when I'm doing officiating rituals as an Atheopagan cleric. It's a silk velvet shirt that was made for me by my partner Nemea, and a pair of silk velvet pants that I found to go along with them. And this sash, which was made for me by a couple that I hand fasted or did the wedding for at the Suntree Retreat back in 2022. It means a lot to me, and so I use this for officiating all the time. So what is an Atheopagan cleric? What distinction does that make in your life? Well, the first is, let me tell you the story about why we call them clerics. We call them clerics because it's funny. Honestly, that's where it started. We started calling them clerics in this sort of nerdy Dungeons and Dragons kind of way, and it stuck, and we decided we liked it, and we just kept it. So, in a kind of whimsical way, that's how we decided what to title our clergy in our community. Now, in order to become a member of the clerics, what you need to do is to register to be put on the roster of registered clerics, and you do that through the Atheopagan Society website, which is theapsociety.org. There is an automated system that will help you log into that automatically, but it's broken right now. So use the contact form to email me, and I will add you to the roster by hand and send you the link to your downloadable ordination form and other resources. That's how it works. So, okay, you got added to a list. What good does that do? Well, legally speaking, because we are a recognized religious organization in the United States, in the US, if you are a registered cleric, you can conduct weddings and funerals and hospital chaplaincy and prison ministry and all that kind of stuff that anybody else who is recognized clergy can do. So that's a pretty powerful set of opportunities and things that you can do that you can't do if you're not ordained clergy. Our position as the Atheopagan Society is that everybody is clergy. Everybody has the right to conduct those rituals for their friends and family and anybody else. And so we make it available to everyone. So that's what being a cleric is. Now, what isn't being a cleric? Being a cleric is not an elevation in status within the Atheopagan community. It's not like you're a priest and you've got this congregation down underneath you. We do our best to be as non-hierarchical as we can, because we believe that all people are equal. Everybody is equal. And so what being a cleric means within the context of Atheopaganism is that you have agreed to perform certain services to your community. And that may be conducting a wedding or a funeral or something like that, or being a sympathetic ear for peer counseling and being able to listen to people effectively and to provide helpful feedback to them when they need it. So it's really about a commitment on your part to do things for the people around you, rather than an elevation of your status as being somehow more important than any other Atheopagan. That's not how we roll. So that said, what are the kinds of things that an Atheopagan cleric will do? Well, the first and most important is being an Atheopagan. Really be one. Follow the 13 principles and embody those in your life. Build your practice, whether it's a daily practice maybe it's full bells and whistles. You've got a daily practice, you got a weekly practice, you've got a full moon practice, you celebrate the stations of the wheel of the year. the whole 9 yards. Or maybe for you, it's a little more stripped down, and it's maybe just a monthly practice, and plus the holidays of the Wheel of the Year, or maybe even only a few of the holidays of the Wheel of the Year, depending on what works for you. But embody that. When people are curious, answer their questions, explain to them what our values are, and about, how we're this DIY pagan religion using pagan rituals and symbology in order to embellish, to enhance the happiness and experience of living life on Earth, even though our worldview is one that's informed by skepticism and critical thinking and the scientific method. If you can articulate that, if you can embody that being out in the world, then you're doing your job as an Atheopagan cleric. So that's one thing that you can do. Another thing that you can do is you can perform ritual services for people, like weddings and funerals and naming ceremonies for young, for babies, welcoming ceremonies for foster children or adopted children. There are many opportunities for rites of passage, and people need officiants for those rites of passage. So those are other things that you can do as a member of the Atheopagan cleric group, because I hesitate to call us clergy, right? We're not really clergy in the sense of, other than in the legal sense where we are. So that's just kind of a thumbnail sketch of the kinds of things that you can do in order to be an Atheopagan cleric. I'm going to go into more detail on these things, give you some pointers on organizing and designing rituals for weddings and funerals and other rites of passage. But for now, I just wanted to kind of introduce the topic. Being an Atheopagan cleric is something that's meaningful in my life. I see myself as an exponent of excellence in some ways, and I hold myself to those kinds of standards, even though I know I'm going to fall off once in a while because I'm human. We have to be compassionate with ourselves. Nonetheless, I try my best to do my best in relation to the other people around me and the earth. And that, in and of itself, is a great accomplishment for a person. And so I invite you to become an Atheopagan cleric and to take on those responsibilities to people around you, whether they're Atheopagans or not. It helps to make a better world, and it helps to make you happier. And when you're happier, you spread that around, and that's good. So that's all I have to say for today. Thanks everybody for listening. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. You can hit the bell for notifications, like the video, that helps us to get a little bit more viewership, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.